Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to your science online class. Hope you all are happy and healthy. So, today we will study chapter number 8, Adaptations, that is, how plants survive. So, students, in our previous chapter, we studied about different parts of a plant, and in this chapter, we will learn how different plants adapt themselves or survive in different areas. So, let's start. First of all, let me tell you about the types of plants. So, students, there are mainly two types of plants. First is terrestrial and second is aquatic plants. Now, what are these terrestrial and aquatic plants? Let's know. Terrestrial plants are those plants which are found on land, whereas aquatic plants are those plants which are found in water. So, terrestrial are those which are found on land, and aquatic are those plants which are found in water. So, students, let's first study about the terrestrial plants in detail. Terrestrial plants are those which are found on land, and you all know, students, that 70% of Earth's surface is covered with water and the remaining 30% is land. This land has different features such as mountains, forests, plains and deserts, and all these areas of land receive different types of rainfall. Some receive very heavy rainfall, some receive medium, and some receive very little rainfall. Some areas are very cold areas and they receive snowfall instead of rain. So all those plants which exist on land survive in different areas by adapting to the natural conditions of that area. For example, coconut tree is grown in those areas only where there is lots of rainfall. So you will not find a coconut tree in a desert, because a desert receives very little rainfall. So this is how different plants adapt themselves in different areas. Now let's study the features of those plants which are found on land, or terrestrial plants we can say. First of all, we will learn about the plants on mountains. So, students, trees which are growing on mountains and hilly areas are usually tall, straight and have a cone shape, so that snow can easily slide off their branches. Secondly, the leaves of these trees are needle-like and have a waxy coating, which helps to prevent any damage from snow, as there is lots of snowfall in hilly areas or in snowy areas. So the leaves of that areas are according to the you can say climatic conditions of that area. They are needle like and they have a waxy coating, so that snow falling cannot damage them. For example, pine, deodar and fir, these are some of the plants or trees you can see which are found on mountain and hilly areas. And beside trees, small flowerless plants such as ferns and mosses also grow on mountains. Moving forward, now let's know about the plants which are found in plains. So students, a large variety of plants grow in the plain areas, and trees that grow in plain areas may have several branches, and many of these trees can survive in very hot climate, but they shed most of their leaves during the autumn season. And examples of the trees found in plain areas are neem, peepal, gulmohar, ashoka, shisham and sal. And students, you know that many of the trees which are found on plain areas are of great importance from the medicinal point of view as well as from the wood point of view. Now let's know about the plants in deserts. So students, as you all know that desert areas get very little rainfall, therefore only those plants which need very little water can survive in desert areas. And the examples of plants which survive in desert areas are cactus, kikar or babool and date palms. Besides needing very less water, Plants living in deserts have certain features also that help them survive in severe hot and dry conditions of the deserts. And what are these features? Following are the features. To save water, desert plants do not have any leaves or have very few of them. Photosynthesis is then carried out by green stems. Secondly, most plants have spines that prevent them from being eaten by animals. Spines you can see in the image, these are the spines, and they store water in the stems which become fleshy. As they do not have much leaves, so desert plants store their water in stem, and therefore the stem becomes fleshy. Moving forward, now let's know about the plants which are found in areas with heavy rainfall. So students, those plants or those trees which are found in the areas of heavy rainfall have leaves that remain green almost throughout the year, and therefore these are known as evergreen trees. And examples of trees which are found in such areas are rubber tree, teak, cashew and pepper. Smaller plants such as sugarcane, cotton and rice also grow in the areas of heavy rainfall. Now let's know about the plants which are found on sea coast. So students, those plants which can survive the salty water as well as which requires heavy rainfall grow on sea coast. For example, palms such as coconut tree, these can survive in salty water, and they also prefer high rainfall, therefore these are mostly found on the coastal areas, and the seeds of such plants are taken away from mother plant by water. So students, this is a bit about the terrestrial plants. Now let's know about the aquatic plants. Aquatic plants, as I told you earlier also, are the plants which live in water, and these are mainly of three kinds. First is floating plants, second is fixed plants, and third is underwater plants. Let's know about these three types of aquatic plants in detail. First one is floating plants. So as the name reflects, floating plants are those plants which float on water, and they float on water because their stems are very light and spongy, so they keep on floating on water. And the examples of such plants are duckweed and water hyacinth. Now let's know about the second kind of plants, that is fixed plants. So fixed plants are those which remain fixed in the water. These plants have their root fixed to the bottom of the pond, and they have thin, long and hollow stems that make them light and reach the surface of the water. And students, leaves of these plants are broad and flat with a waxy coating on the surface to prevent them from rotting. And examples of fixed water plants are water lily and lotus. Lotus, you all know, is very famous. And students, the hollow stems of lotus plants, which we called kamal kakadi, is eaten as a vegetable too. Next comes underwater plants. These are the plants which grow under the water surface, and they have very thin and narrow leaves without any stomata. Stomata, you all know, is small holes on the leaves of plants which helps in breathing of the plants. And the leaves absorb carbon dioxide and oxygen directly from the water through their surface, because stomata is not present in the leaves of underwater plants. And the examples of underwater plants are tape grass and pondweed. Now let's know about a very interesting kind of plant, which is insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants are carnivorous in nature. Carnivorous means flesh eating, and the leaves of these plants are modified to trap insects, and hence they are known as insectivorous plants. So their leaves are designed in such a way that they trap or they catches in the insects, and therefore these are known as insectivorous plants. And examples of such plants are Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. Next comes another category of plants which are non-green plants. As you all know, students, that most of the plants which exist on planet Earth are green in color due to the presence of a substance called chlorophyll in leaves, which makes the plants look green. And there are some plants also which are not green in colors. They are not green because they do not have chlorophyll present in them, and such plants are known as non-green plants. Example of such plants are Indian pipe and coral root. And students, as these plants do not have chlorophyll, they cannot make their own food, and they usually absorb food from dead plants and animals. So students, this is all about terrestrial and aquatic plants. Now let's know about some useful plants which helps us in different ways. Plants are very useful to us, as we all know. First of all, they provide us oxygen. Beside that, they are used in many other ways also. For example, every day we use things made from plants in some form or the other, as we all depend on plants for food. Fruits, vegetables, oils, sugar, cereals, pulses, nuts, etc. are all plant products. These are required in our day-to-day life, in our feeding habits. Similarly, we also get tea, coffee and cocoa beans from plants. Secondly, soaps and shampoos which we use have vegetable oils in them, and that we get from plants. Thirdly, plant fibers such as cotton and jute are used to make our clothes, carpets, bags and ropes. Flax is another type of fiber that we get from plants. Next is coconut plants gives us coconut oil, coconut water, a fruit to eat and fibers to make ropes. What else a person needs? Next is stems of bamboo plants are used to make paper. The hollow stems or cane is used to make baskets, huts, mats, furnitures, walking sticks, etc. So bamboo tree or bamboo stick, you can say, are very useful for humankind. Next is juice from the rubber tree is used to make rubber for tires. Similarly, the juice of acacia tree or kikar is used to make gum. And trunks of trees such as shisham, teak and sal gives us wood for making furniture, doors and windows. Paints also contain substances that we get from plants. Many plants have medicinal values also. For example, tulsi, neem, etc. They also gives us essential oils. Dyes from plants are extremely popular. Henna or mehndi leaves are used for decorating hands and dyeing hair. So these shows how important plants are for human beings. This is all, students, in our today's chapter. Hope you must have comprehended the chapter properly. We'll meet you on the next turn. Till then, take care and stay safe.